It is the $300 minimum 4v4 search and destroy here on January 2nd. Our first stream, our first broadcasted tournament of 2018. Happy New Year to, of course, everyone who is in 2018, unless you're in Australia and it's currently 2023. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. But still, it is, of course, our first tournament of 2018. We're hopping things off with some search and destroy. Of course, search and destroy only here for this evening as we take a look at our first two teams, being the side of TryMe and Fameteam, aka Fame. Probably just call them Fame throughout the night, but regardless, hopping in here to our round number one, as both teams, of course, kind of putting in the back of their minds that kind of recent weapons patches kind of being portrayed. A lot of teams kind of rocking different weapons, not just the PPSH and the FG42 anymore. It's actually a few different ones. It's, the PPSH, the STG, the bar, and apparently the M1 Garand. Been seeing a lot of teams, especially pro teams in the 2Ks and whatnot, been rocking the M1 Garand. So curious to see in tonight's tournament whether these two teams rock it or not, if we will see that particular weapon make a showcase for itself. But of course, round number one going the way of the boys on TryMe, as we're going to see how they face off when it comes now to defense. Call me Carey. I'm calling him it. He's rocking the bar, and he actually found the hat trick in round number one. Now on the defense, HomicideInk finds the first kill to start things off. The second one found quickly after that, but Garden able to find two. I believe GuarDNJ doing work with that sniper rifle in the back line, so it turned to be a quick 2 versus 4. There's now 1 versus 2 on the opposite end. I believe GuarDNJ finds at least 3 kills here. Yes, finds 3 kills, the last 3 at that. Taking out HomicideInk and Cold Blood. There's a solid kill there coming in from GuarDNJ. He's doing work with the Kar98K, the one sniper rifle that never truly changes. The weapons, the AR, the SMGs might change, but the sniper rifles, at least for now, before I jinx it, that we're usually going to stay the same. But it looks like now an offense here. The guys who are currently up 2-0 is TryMe. We'll see what they do now when it comes to their next offensive round, as the boys from Fame yet again finding the first blood. Actually found the first blood in every single round. 3 different players finding those. This time being unstruck, coming from the flank. A little bit of an aggressive rush, and that's where Call Me Carey has been able to drop him pretty quickly. Spots one heading into bar, and that's MagOsauR. As one hop on board with him as he gets met with another sniper shot. Of course, from who else other than GuarDNJ, as it will be KrypticpX. Now left in a 1 versus 3. Finally takes out GuarDNJ, silences his streak, but still has 2 enemies in front of him. Takes out xBlift from long range. A 1-on-1 for the total. 1 versus 3. How does KrypticpX try and engage on this one? Looks like Call Me Carey is actually going to make this one happen. Initiating fire, but KrypticpX with the PPSH challenging, what was that, a bar on a head glitch. Wouldn't recommend that anytime soon. Of course, realizing such, decides to challenge from a different point of view and runs right past him. Does he get the good line of sight? Tries to find it. The hip fire not going to be there. And it looks like 3 straight rounds coming in from TryMe. 2 offenses and a successful defense, as they will win this current offensive round with Call Me Carey going big in the 1 versus 1. But you got to keep in mind that consistent sniper play coming in the last 2 rounds from GuarDNJ has definitely been a pretty big factor. Of course, currently sitting now at 5-2, along with Call Me Carey for the most kills, not just for his team, but in the entire lobby there as well. As we're going to hop on board with him, see if he can spot anyone off the break. Will GunstruKK or MagOsauR be dead? And yes, welcome to the Headshot Club. 2 dropped. HomicideInk is at least able to make things a little bit easier on the team, but things quickly turning the other way as we find ourselves in a 1 versus 2. HomicideInk drops, and now he leaves his teammate GunstruKK in a 1-on-2 in total. Just seeking their first round is Fame. Needing GunstruKK to go big. Getting hit markers on to Carey, but doesn't realize there's a player above him. And yes, he will get picked up just like that. 4 rounds in a row. And honestly, we're seeing some good moments from Fame. I mean, they're trading kills. I think it's HomicideInk who was doing a good job at kind of finding those 2nd, 3rd kills in the round. But regardless, it's just the consistent play. The guys who are from TryMe, they're kind of holding those head glitches and just making things a lot more awkward. When you have GuarDNJ picking up first blood with the sniper rifle, I mean, immediate 4 versus 3 is obviously going to give you a pretty big advantage. As of course, they are flawless right now. And we'll see what they do when it comes down to this next offensive round. It looks like BliFT throwing out their early frag. As it looks like GunstruKK, the only player not on this B bomb side, at least defending it somewhat, as looks like MagOsauR lingering through mid-street, as he could definitely trying to do some damage with that sniper rifle. However, no one in his current line sight, as the offensive team of TryMe do even things out. Only for the moment. 2 versus 3. Can they get to that 5th round without having any negatives attached to it? FaMZo is able to drop one, and now one player left in his line sight knows exactly where GunstruKK is. He has the advantage, at least as far as knowledge, but not the overall height advantage, and you can't find it. A solid play coming in from TryMe. However, it is GunstruKK who will walk away with the round, and regardless of line sight from FaMZo there, it's GunstruKK who has the height advantage and is able to work with it. And it's just such a difficult gunfight to try to take out a player on that B dom. Just a number of different head glitches. And with the PPSH in hand, it can obviously make things a lot more difficult when trying to challenge a player who's constantly moving. And speaking of changing, Fame looks like they're changing up the strategy a little bit, making their way now toward the A site, and we'll see if Blift has the quick reaction, gets hit markers there onto one, and does not finish off any kills in total. But that's where HomicideInk and KrypticpX are there to finish off the remaining team. As FaMZo lasts alive, thankfully he's able to at least take out one, but I believe gets granted with a sniper shot here at the end. But just overall, smart play coming in from Fame. They realize that, hey, our offensive rounds haven't worked. Why not just change something up? No negatives in that. They obviously have a little bit of momentum coming from that last round. And now 1 versus 1, and obviously carry it over here toward round number 6. Instead of the ball currently being in TryMe's court, as we'll see if GuarDNJ can get some momentum back in his team's favor, as it looks like no one currently toward the A site right now. A lot of pressure coming through that mid-street between player 5 and player 6. KrypticpX and GunstruKK both combining for 2. GuarDNJ, though, is at least able to pick off one on the flank, and now I believe player number 8 is shooting at nothing. I'm not exactly sure what MagOsauR was shooting at, though, but thank you for the free kill. GuarDNJ continuing to light it up with the sniper rifle. Didn't mean to find it. But now MagOsauR evens things up to a 1-on-1. Can GuarDNJ find the kill as the question gets tagged up? 9-4 is this man with the sniper. Has the PPSH in the back pocket, but he's actually going for the challenge, and MagOsauR just around the corner. Timing is going to play big, and he sees him throwing out the nade. Can he find it? And yes! Big plays, they're coming in from the man GuarDNJ, going big for the squad on TryMe, as he definitely gets blessed by the COD gods inside a bunker with that sniper shot. Not one that you see very often, especially in search and destroy tournaments like this, but 5 rounds to 2. It's only fair that we do hop on board with the All-Star, the MVP right now in this map, and the man who's got the sniper rifle as well. I mean, we can kind of talk about on different maps, the sniper can definitely be a factor, especially one like USS Texas, but Ardennes Forest is getting a little bit more love than usual, at least from a player's performance, rather. But looks like kills happening. Carry takes out HomicideInk, and now we find ourselves in a 2 versus 3. Disadvantage yet again toward the guys on Fame. As you notice, the difference in the first bloods is it looks like 3 first bloods found for the guys on TryMe, and 5 in total found from the boys on Fame. Just goes to show how they can kind of manage around, as it looks like sniper shot not going to work out that time for GuarDNJ. Not going to get blessed too much by the COD gods in that situation, but KrypticpX does find 2. And now 1 player left in his way to potentially at least forcing around number 9. And now in his mind, he's thinking he has no idea where Blift is for the most part, unless he can kind of get that communication from his teammate. Now it's a matter of choice. Blift, FG42 out. Can he find the kill? And yes, just like that, the 1v1 will decide it, as it will be the guys on TryMe who win map number 1, 6 rounds to 2, alongside an all-star performance from the man GuarDNJ, as he finishes off 10-5 with the sniper rifle. Probably one of his biggest highlight plays came in the, whether it was kind of like that round 2 where he ends up getting the hat trick, or that sniper shot that kind of came through inside a bunker. Or it definitely was not one that looked to go his way, but regardless, it does. And TryMe now 1 map away, rather, from advancing now toward a semifinal for tonight's tournament. So with that in mind, question being, now we head over toward USS Texas, which I'm pretty sure that, at least if you're on the side of TryMe, they're like, we're we're not really sweating too much, right? We got the guy GuarDNJ who was just absolutely destroying in that first map, and we kind of talked about a number of different moments throughout that search and destroy. Now leading into USS Texas, just the overall lack of first bloods that kind of go for them. It just goes to show that their consistency, their overall, I guess it's not passiveness necessarily, but their overall. Just good teamwork as a roster, just being able to kind of work through the disadvantages and just overall patience. That's what I was looking for. The overall patience when it comes down to 3v4, 2v4 situations, because in basically every single round they were in a similar disadvantage, but it kind of depended for how long. So with that, like I said, TryMe up 1-0 in this series. Now looking at USS Texas, they've got the sniper rifles in their back pocket. They're not feeling too negative when it comes down to that. But if you're Fame, right, you really need to kind of have a breakout player. Of course, not really knowing too much about both of these teams. When it comes in a search and destroy, you lose a round, and when you're obviously in a search and destroy only tournament, you're really looking at one guy to kind of set the pace, to kind of pick things up for your squad, because a lot of the time in S&D, especially versus top level talent in tournaments as this caliber, you're really going to see a lot of consistency for one group, and if you're kind of lacking that, that can really start to diminish or kind of demoralize you as a squad. So with that in mind, I think they really need to kind of have someone lead the way for them, and then through that player kind of playing well, you kind of see the other guys start to rise up. He starts to kind of find assists and whatnot. So map. We currently got Fame going up against TryMe, where we saw TryMe pretty much dominate when it came down to Ardennes Forest for map number 1, winning that one in a 6-2 fashion. And now looking on here at USS Texas, we talked about sniper rifles. It looks like it will be xBlift pulling that one out on toward that B bomb site. As things in action currently kicking off on A, as we'll see how the boys from Fame can try to get this early amount to momentum as they've quickly found 3, and KrypticpX now left in a 1 versus 3 situation. Reason why I'm in the overhead point of view, the Skycam. There's currently a glitch with the Codcaster, which unfortunately makes you be stuck in it for at least one round in search and destroy. Hardpoint, not the same fate. You have to kind of stick in it with the entire match, but in search and destroy, of course, this one will end pretty shortly. So at least when we kind of take from that one from a high perspective, it looks like it was, of course, the guys on Fame who did pull that sniper rifle, rocked it well. As we'll see xBlift pull out this one from the guys on TryMe as they do secure this round. But keeping that in mind, like I said, I'm curious to see what we see from the guys on Fame. How do they respond when it comes down to that sniper rifles? We'll be able to now look at their perspectives, as it looks like, xBlift continuing to rock that one for the squad along with GuarDNJ. So 2 snipers out, and it looks like 3 subs along with another. So they've got 4 SMGs versus 2 snipers. So they're definitely going to be favoring a lot of these gunfights in midship, which on defense, they're going to have to play their lives a lot. And it looks like FaMZo actually gets the bomb down. And that's the issue with not having a sniper, because there's no one to really watch over that A side. You're really, with those SMGs, going to have to challenge a lot of awkward point of views. But it looks like Mag left in a 1 versus 4. Nearly spotted a few players' point of views, but does take out 2 in his current 1 versus 2 situation, but does get dropped. And we'll see another round going the way of the boys here on TryMe. But this is the thing, right? We talked about the SMGs. I was kind of talking about a little bit throughout that round, is that when you're pulling out 4 SMGs, or maybe if they don't do it for future rounds, but if you're doing it, you're really relying on those gunfights to happen inside of midship, because essentially you're not going to be challenging an SMG at a super long range versus what normally would be a sniper duel. So if you're seeing the opposite team pull out 2 snipers, I mean, they're going to be having a pretty easy time when it comes into at least getting the bomb down on A. So we'll see if they kind of change up strategies. Going to pull something else out as KrypticpX getting up close and personal, taking some early shots as the smoke begins to make the gunfights a little bit more interesting. In his own top building, doesn't even get the call out, and HomicideInk drops. I mean, he's got to at least give a call out that, hey, I'm in the middle of a gunfight, literally on the bomb that's right behind you. There could be a possibility where he is trying to engage, but regardless, 3 versus 3. Bomb in the hands of MagOsauR as KrypticpX is doing the damage. Bomb goes down successfully, but here comes Kry. How does the gunfights start to play out? And MagOsauR goes for the awkward challenge. KrypticpX goes for the nice drop shot and does have some time to work with, but xBlift quickly hopping on the defuse will make that one pretty speedy as GuarDNJ yet again with that sniper duel. Pulling it out here, of course, on USS Texas. 3 rounds in a row from the guys on TryMe. They've picked up the pace and have not looked back. And I think it's only fair that we do hop on board with a team who's obviously struggling right now. As HomicideInk currently 0-1-3. We'll see if they've changed anything up, as it looks like no. 4 SMGs. They've got, I believe, stuns, a smoke on GunstruKK here. No real reason to have a smoke when you're on defense, but I mean, hey. You got xBlift watching over the sniper rifle. It does toss out that smoke, so I call it out. And it looks like they're going to be using the smoke to maybe try to go for a defuse, but not when you're not lingering inside of midship, as GuarDNJ at least picks up 3, maybe finds 4 here. Let's watch GuarDNJ's play, as it looks like it will be xBlift who does steal the ace in this situation, but to no avail. Definitely could have gone GuarDNJ's way if just a few more seconds, a little bit of change of position would have taken place rather. But TryMe, of course, in full control of this round, and I think that this really does kind of rely on the issues with weapon comp right now. They've got nothing to challenge at long ranges. They're definitely struggling when it comes down to even winning their fights instead of midship, where they definitely have the weapons of choice with the PPSH. But like I said, you have a number of different head glitches. I mean, look at this map, right? This map is not meant, for the most part, for up close and personal fights. You can easily win this map with even having 2 snipers, an AR, and an SMG, or vice versa. But HomicideInk, 1 versus 2, gets the good timing there onto GuarDNJ, as it will be xBlift, most likely with that sniper rifle. In a 1 versus 1, it just happens to peek at the worst time possible, and somehow does not spot Ink there, just in that bottom ship area. But you see Homicide being very, very wary of the player he's facing off against. He knows that xBlift has been rocking that sniper, so you see him checking that top head glitch, as xBlift just happens to jump down. Timing is going to be how this overall round pays off, and advantage to xBlift, advantage toward yet again the boys on TryMe, as they are up 5 rounds to 0, and to no avail. xBlift playing the positioning with the sniper rifle correctly. I mean, you really see him in this particular round realize the weapon that he has in his hands. He realizes that he has the sniper, so he's not going to be rushing onto his site with the car. He's not trying to run around a corner with the car out, or even with his machine pistol. I don't think he had the machine pistol in that round. Had a different pistol, yeah. So kind of plays his position correctly, and that's just the awkward thing where the guys on, for the most part, on the opposite team don't really have a sniper, and it goes to show there with GunstruKK. He's trying to pull it out just to realize the issues with their overall comp right now. Misses the shot, gets first blooded. MagOsauR finding 2 early on, and where are the hit markers for Homicide? Finally takes out one, and now for the first time in this round, a disadvantage for the guys on TryMe. As we'll see GuarDNJ in this current position with an 87 sensitivity. Does take out Cryptic. Nice headshot there onto him, but does fall shortly there from the stairs. We're going to need to see the guys on Fame make a insane comeback. And on USS Texas. But in that round, we did see GunstruKK pull up the sniper rifle. Granted, he wasn't successful, so not surprising, just because of the fact that we haven't seen them pull anything out, so he's definitely not at least hot with it for the moment. But we'll actually take a look at his perspective, see what the boys from Fame are looking to try and do. But it looks like, hey, 4 SMGs yet again. Bomb was not picked up. Back of the map there. No one grabbing that sucker, so pretty awkward start. As they're going for kills, they're not even going for the objective. And maybe the reason why they don't even go for the objective is because they realize that there's going to be 2 snipers watching on their bomb site. Either way, Cryptic does find the first blood into GuarDNJ, but xBlift, like a final boss, just sitting up waiting for the challenger. A challenge he will get. xBlift able to escape, though, as GunstruKK drops from the side. HomicideInk is there for the trade, but xBlift from a long range, there's no reason to challenge that. But regardless, it will be a victory in the books here for the boys on TryMe, as snipers were really the question, really the talk about USS Texas, and of course they do coincidentally decide how the final kill of this series will go, as we do see a dominant 2-0 here in the books for the guys on TryMe, as they do advance now to the semifinals here for tonight's $300 minimum 4v4 search and destroy. As we do wave goodbye to the guys on Fame, of course, we do take a look here at the final scorecard. Of course, for the guys, at least on TryMe, 8-2 there for xBlift. Carry finishing off 8-4. GuarDNJ 7-4. And at the top, of course, we do see MagOsauR and HomicideInk, both with 5 kills and 6 deaths. But, of course, do struggle there at the end with the lack of round victories, as we do see in total, what was it, 6 rounds to 2 on Ardennes Forest, which was a victory for TryMe, and on USS Texas here, a 6-1 round victory there for TryMe as well. But I think we can kind of talk about this series and kind of rely And the fact in total, on Ardennes Forest, it was a matter of winning the first bloods. They like when you look at USS Texas and you look at Ardennes Forest, it was a total different story. We saw a number of different first bloods coming in on Ardennes Forest from the guys on Fame, but it was a lack of execution. It was a lack of securing those 4 versus 3s. It was almost a matter of they were kind of rushing gunfights they didn't need to. It was almost as if they were on offense with like 45 seconds left and were just challenging things that they absolutely didn't have to. And they're on defense. They're in 4 versus 3s, 4 versus 2 situations, and they're rushing around corners. I mean, it was just a matter of, maybe trying to add toward those skill totals, maybe, trying to have the highlights when it comes to being on stream. I'm not exactly sure what the case was, but it was just a matter of kind of challenging unorthodox gunfights, ones that they were supposed to secure, but kind of got a little bit maybe overconfident or just maybe kind of unaware of the gunfights at hand. And like I said, there were a few moments on Ardennes Forest where we saw players kind of challenging on certain things, and even on USS Texas as well, where you could just tell the communication wasn't there. I mean, we were seeing a gunfight happen on one end. A guy whose teammate who was in the gunfight, he's right around the corner. Guy takes out his teammate with not a call out, in any sight. I mean, you could definitely see the guy who was just outside of that, inside the top ship, wasn't aware that there was a gunfight taking place about 5 steps away from him, and obviously didn't adapt. So I'm not sure if that was a call-out mishap, whether it was the guy who was in the gunfight or the guy who was inside a middle ship who just wasn't turning around. I'm not sure what the case was, but you could just tell a little bit throughout both of those maps that either communication was an error or maybe just lack of play. And then we also do talk about the weapon comp, the change, the difference between not having a sniper rifle on USS Texas to having at least 2 snipers on USS Texas, as we saw GuarDNJ and xBlift both dominate when it came down to both of these maps combined. But of course, GuarDNJ on Ardennes Forest and xBlift really dominated on USS Texas as well.